Frank was a perfectionist, and you know that can go both ways. But I like that kind of challenge, which again at that point was. It was music 24 hours a day, you know. I still look back and wonder how I was able to retain all that stuff, because we were always enlarging, you know, the repertoire, and you had to remember all the other stuff that you had learned before. So that was more than interesting, to say the least. I don't think Frank was ever very happy with, for the most part, the band in some ways, because if somebody made a mistake, it was, you ruined my music. When somebody did make a mistake, I think Frank would say, you were high, you were drinking, you know, something that caused that, which I'm not going to, you know, deny that. But there was, Frank made mistakes too that he wouldn't acknowledge. So there was a thing there that he could really, you know, be very displeased if you made a mistake, but didn't want to quite acknowledge some of the mistakes that he made. But, you know, other than that, the band was always, I think, for the most part, prepared to have a good time and play his music. A stringed instrument doesn't have to breathe, okay? And I can play something on the piano that if I give another instrument, your fingers are going to fall off, depending on, you know, what the tempo is. So just from that standpoint, and something that I didn't understand in the early days about guitar, that they love playing in sharp keys because you have all these open strings, and it puts woodwinds or other instruments in ridiculously difficult keys. I mean, after a while, you know, you have to just go with the flow, and you sort of get used to it. But there were things that, again, besides playing hard music, when you played in very difficult keys, it kind of limited your ability to play certain things that, again, you just had to deal with. And Frank never had places to breathe. But I know that for the most part, you don't find guitar players that read music that well. And I do remember at Capitol Records, we were recording some of the stuff for Lumpy Gravy, and some of the stuff that he had written for some of the guitar players, they couldn't play. They had to hold it. What is this? And you know, it was. And again, some of the stuff that for the other instruments, guys were help me here. You know, I mean, it was difficult stuff. Going through different time changes and things and keys that you know you might not be used to. So it was always a challenge in more ways than one.